So Brooklyn, I know, we've been doing this for so long. I just want to give you something like a token of my appreciation and in my love, bro.
Should.
I got this, dog, and I want you to have it.
You got me that?
Yeah. I love you.
Can I ask you why you got me this?
Because my love language is gift giving.
That's nice. I don't like that shit.
Damn. Let's talk about our love languages then.
Let's talk about it, because this is going to be a problem. What's up, everybody? I am Brooklyn.
And I'm O'Neal.
And this is Speak the Proof.
Yeah,
we getting into another episode. Today we are talking about love languages.
Love languages, man.
How your significant other make you feel. You know what I'm saying?
What I like about this topic is because when we think about love languages, it's always about like how you want love. But then you got to really think about with love languages, it's how you give and how you give yourself love. Actually, you said that. And I didn't even think about it. I was like, man, if you can't break down the way that you love somebody and yourself, then you can't really. I
think that over time it's evolving. I think that when they first started in the 70s, when they first started really talking about like what our love language is, and they broke it down into the 5 different. It's
very recent.
When they started, because the first person who really like globalized it, and we'll get into this later, was Oprah. Before that, no one really was.
Well, she helped. So there was it was the Love Doctor, which I'll look it up on my list, guys. But Oprah actually like kind of gave him a little bit of a platform. And then he kind of broke down like, okay, he was a psychologist, and he was basically like, okay, how are relationships? He would do couple relationships and things like couple therapy, and he would find out that like every single time they wouldn't know how to love each other.
Absolutely.
So how do you break it down?
So basically, if you're out there and you don't know what a love language is, there's 5 different love languages, and we're going to get into exactly what they are. But it's your job as an individual on this planet to not only discover what your love language is, which is how you receive love, but also how you give love and how you love yourself. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So
that comes to the question then. Let's just get right into it. What is your love languages, bro?
Mine?
Yeah, and have they evolved over the years?
Let's say what ours are, and then we can talk about what they are. So for me, mine is I personally like to be touched. I like physical touch. I like words of affirmations, and then I would say probably acts of service, and then gift giving.
So it'd be physical touch, affirmations, acts of service, quality time.
Gift
so you don't really need a lot of quality time.
Yeah, I know.
Interesting. But you need a lot of that physical touch, though.
I think that's the Sagittarius in me.
I feel that. I definitely feel that.
If the time that we spend together is memorable, then I'm going to want it more.
Right.
So it's like the more that I want it is cool, but I don't require it more. Like, I don't require more of it to be happy. What are yours?
So mine's definitely going to be acts of service. Acts of service is my number one. Like, if you do shit if you make my life easier.
He said if you do shit for me.
I love you. But I don't know, man.
You're such a man.
It's a very masculine thing. That's kind of what I'm learning about when it comes to how women and men, or I don't even say women and men, but masculinity and femininity, how it perceives
how
love.
Those relationships work together.
Yes.
Yeah, I can honestly agree with that. And as a bisexual person as well, I want the same things in my partner, man or woman. Like,
oh, you do?
Like I want them differently, but when you break them down into love languages, I want the same things. I want to be touched. I want time.
Do you find that you receive a specific kind of love from men than you do women? So, for example, like acts of service, like we were saying, do you feel like you get more acts of service love from males than you do females?
No. Women do services. Men spend time. Let's break down like what they are.
Yeah,
and
I'm about to
say like what our experiences are.
Acts of service. And it's self-explanatory, but this is coming off of Oprah Daily, which, by the way, y'all, if you go on Oprah Daily, there's a bunch of interesting ass shit.
No, Oprah is out here doing it.
For real.
And I just love the fact that she's black and she's been doing it as long as she has. So
no, she's a legend in the game.
She's more than just a credible source.
Hell yeah. But basically, so acts of service, doing something helpful or kind for your partner. Mm-hmm. Think waking up with the baby in the middle of the night or doing the dishes so your partner can relax. For someone who favors acts of service, ambivalence, or a lack of support are more damaging than anything else. So what they're saying is that basically, which, man, I can even see from my past experiences in some of my relationships, since my active service is so high, so strong, that like if I didn't feel as if I got that support, it was a big fucking deal.
Right, because you start tallying things when you do services. See, that's the thing with me. I don't. Mine is so
unconsciously too.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just because you can. I don't think that it's a strike against someone to say that you tally your things against someone else's. Like, it's hard to tally time against someone else's time because you don't know what that time meant to them. Like, you don't know what they carved out. So it's a little more difficult with time. Where with services, it's easier to be like, you aren't there for me because I was there for you in this instance. It
comes a tit for tat. And you know what? That's something I had to learn, bro, because acts of service, I'll say this, and this is when you look at your love languages, y'all, like, make sure that it's something that your partner wants to
you have to make sure that the way that they love is compatible, because the way that I give love is not the way that I receive love. The way that I receive love is physical touch. And yes, I'm touchy, but I'm also the way that I show up for someone else is through time, and it is through acts of service. And you know, when I like somebody, I want them around me. I want to keep someone close to me. So it's hard for me.
Have you been with somebody that did not like physical touch, or that wasn't really high on their?
Hell yeah.
So how do you kind of maneuver that kind of relationship?
Well, in the past, what I did was compromise, and compromising is never. I'm not gonna say it's never.
You know how I am with sacrifice, though.
Yeah, but there's a thing when it comes to sacrifice, because when you're in a relationship, when you sacrifice certain things, you don't sacrifice them for the other person, even though you think that you are. You're sacrificing them for yourself, because you're the one forcing yourself to be in that relationship. So the longer you sacrifice it, again, you sacrifice it from yourself, the more you crave it. You know, like Tony Robbins says, absence breeds obsession. So the more you don't have it, the more you want it. So because for me, physical touch was such a big thing, it led me to want to cheat more, and it made me more. I would say compulsive more than anything. It made me more like.
It made you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure, because it is how I measure love. Okay. So it also became how I challenged it. You know.
What would you tell somebody that?
Like, for you challenge love through acts of service. Like, you don't love me if you don't do this, but that's because that's how you receive love.
That's how I give it as well. Acts of service, and that's so a lot of people.
I think I do that a little bit.
That's my number one. Acts of service is really, really strong in terms of my love language, not only to receive, but to also give. And because I go hard, you know, you see me, like, I go hard for my friends. If I love you, I go hard for you. I mean, like, I'll drop what I do to just help you out. Right. And even at my, you know,
inconvenience.
In my inconvenience. And so when I don't receive that in the past, it would fuck up the relationship just because I feel as if you're not supporting me. But I had to really, and it comes with maturity, y'all. You know, if you are like myself, really strong with acts of service, understand that your partner might not necessarily be able to reciprocate that energy because that's not how they perceive or give love.
Yeah.
And so that's something that you have to consciously understand. And that's what I talk about with the sacrifice thing. It's not necessarily sacrifice and compromise, whatever you want to call it, but understand that, like, I know that the next relationship that I get into, one, communicate that off the rip. Communicate how you love, but also, two, if acts of service isn't high for the other person, make sure that I don't overextend the way I love.
Right.
To make sure that I don't feel as if they're not going to support me.
Don't give them more than they can.
They can handle.
Right.
Exactly.
Because then your expectations.
Yes, and I had to learn that.
He used to work for the Potter's House, and if you don't know what the Potter's House is, it's a mega church here in Dallas, where T.D. Jakes is the pastor.
Yeah.
But T.D. Jakes, in my eyes, is an amazing philosopher, and one of his philosophies is the 10-gallon rule. Have you ever heard of this?
Yeah.
I love the 10-gallon rule, because basically what he's saying is it's not to say that the other person isn't giving you everything that they've got. It's just to say that your capacity for love is greater.
And we've always talked about this. I believe that relationships are always conditional.
Absolutely.
And regardless if it's an intimate relationship or a friendly relationship, relationships in general are conditional. And people say that there's non-conditional relationships, they're lying.
Absolutely.
Because there is a limit. There, you know, even for my friends, at a very minimum,
you require them to do what's best for themselves.
Not even that. I require them to at least have my back, to at least be loyal, at least to be honest with me to a certain extent. Like, you know, there's definitely criteria that I have for my friends, and then even for my intimate relationships, it might be a little bit more intimate, of course, a little bit more stronger. But even at the same time, like you said, that has to be established at the beginning.
Right.
That has to be communicated, and that's something that I did not do.
So you're saying that you had expectations, but they weren't being communicated to the other person.
Yes, I did not communicate the expectations, even if they were subconscious.
So what did that look like in the beginning?
In the beginning, it's different, because in the beginning it's a new relationship. So you're like, for my acts of service, for example, I'm giving because that's how I'm showing my love, and that's how like.
And society tells you that it's your job as a man to show up in those ways and to do those things. Yeah. And when you love someone, you go hard.
I will say this: I'm not pressured. Me specifically, I'm not pressured by the male heteronormative, like, kind of status quo of males.
I didn't think I was, but
it's just something that I like.
In hindsight, that I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't think that consciously I went into it thinking like, okay, the next step is get married. The next step is do this. The next step is do that. But that's the pressure that life and society gave me, that by the time I'm 30, I need to have kids. So in order to do those things and do them in a way that will give me 3 years to be with my partner without children and that I had to be married by a certain age. Mm-hmm. I need to have my life together by a certain age. So it wasn't on purpose, but
well, it was laid out to you. It's societal pressure.
Society told me that that's what I needed to do. So I put pressure on myself to find a partner who was at least willing to participate in those things.
Right.
Whether it was good or bad was never
Do you think that you should have explored your love languages for yourself before being able to share that with a relationship?
I love myself the way. I don't think that the problem in my relationship was my relationship. I think that I had a problem with myself before I got in my relationship.
That's like, I guarantee you, bro, 75% of relationships is not because of the actual relationship. It's the relationship you have with yourselves.
It's because I didn't
you're
know
not honest with
how
yourself.
To show up for myself, so I required her to.
Ooh, say that again.
I didn't know how to show up for myself, so I required her to. I like physical touch, but because I didn't know how to self-soothe myself through that. Like, so when you're a baby, you go through this phase that doctors call self-soothing, and it's where you learn how to nurture yourself and how to soothe yourself through trauma.
Right.
I didn't go through that as a child. My life was too fast and I missed it. So I require my partner to soothe me. Right. And when she didn't, I punished her for it.
Right. So tell me, so what did you have to do? And we're not dropping names type shit, but what did you have to do, since your physical touch, obviously sex is in the picture. Sex is on the table when it comes to physical touch. You like that shit. So
he said you like that shit.
So what did you have to do in a relationship where physical touch wasn't their forte, but also that the sex wasn't what's the word I'm looking for? Like, fulfilling. How do you navigate a relationship that doesn't have fulfilling sex, even though you might love that person?
Okay, so I think that's a double-ended question, because I've been in relationships where the sex wasn't fulfilling, but I'm not going to say the specific relationship that we're talking about.
No. I'm just talking about, like,
so it's
our fucking history of our relationships and shit.
It's more about, in that situation, was more about frequency than about the actual sex. But yes, I've been in a relationship. Yeah, this is so much drama. But I've been in situations where I like the person more than I liked having sex with them. But it wasn't, physical touch isn't about liking having sex with them. It's about wanting to be touched.
But that's what I mean, is that, like, but you can't tell me that intimacy doesn't have some sort of connection.
No, but intimacy is different than sex.
It is.
I can have intimacy with you without having sex with you.
Yeah,
and because I can separate the two, and I can do it well, I can have an intimate, like, for me, my problem wasn't with the fact that, like, just in general, even with people who have cheated on me, my problem has never been with them cheating on me. My problem has been with a relationship that they had around someone that they were so safe to make them their secret. Like, it's not even about you telling them your secret. You made them your secret. That's different. That's a different kind of trust that you have to have for them to make them your secret.
Right.
So because of that, it compromised more than just physical touch.
Okay. And it's interesting that you say that, because even though we're talking about sex, you're right, physical touch is way beyond just the physical act of having sex.
And I have a trust thing around who I allow to touch me anyways. So it's a psychological thing. If I trust you enough to touch me, and then you touch me, and then you abandon me in that, then it feels weird for me.
Okay, so that physical physical touch also is
we're gonna have to have a whole nother episode.
I'm about to say, it's partnering with trust.
Yes, absolutely.
Interesting. So I'm just bringing this. So we have the definition of all the love languages, y'all, but also to an example.
And we're gonna drop them down in the description below, because I know we're talking quickly. We need to start doing that in general, dropping all of our descriptions below, because we talk about
all
a lot
our sources
of stuff
and
fast.
shit. Yeah, facts.
And shout out to everybody who's been our sources so far.
Yeah. Dude, like not only articles, y'all, but we this is what I love about Speak the Proof, y'all, is that we talk to just everyday people, and they give us their perspective on certain topics that we talk about. And that's what we really want to do. We want to learn and listen to y'all. Fuck all the bullshit, fuck all the articles, fuck all the, I get it, we're gonna get a lot of sources for professionals, but I want to know what y'all think.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with physical touch, I want to say this real quick, is that, so I have the definition, and then I have kind of how you go about utilizing physical touch, say if you're not,
He's so prescriptive.
Very much. But so basically what this person said, or the psychologist says, that look for opportunities to physically connect with your loved one, whether that's a hug as you're crossing paths in the morning, or a squeeze on the knee underneath a table during a dinner out with your friends.
No, you don't understand. When you're not that person, you don't get it. That means so much to me. I'd be like, oh my God, you touched me. I like a kid. Oh my God. It's so crazy. Yeah. And it doesn't even have to be intimate. It can be like a friend passing me and touching my shoulder. And I'm like, it's in an instant, I got it.
Okay, yeah.
But y'all, let us know in the comments what y'all's love languages are. Let us know what your partner's love languages are, what issues y'all are having due to your love language confusion. Because it's hard out here navigating this shit, especially when you've never been taught actual prescriptive definitions of what you require in order to be loved.
In this article, there is a test you can take, so you can figure out your love language. It's going to be in the caption, y'all.
Yeah.
Are we doing this quick? We usually do 45-minute episodes, y'all. We're gonna shut it down.
We're doing it quick. We're trying some new shit. So y'all let us know in the comments too if y'all like our shorter segments. If y'all like them longer, let us know that too, because we'll definitely give y'all a little bit more.
For sure.
We just want to test out some stuff, see what y'all like.
For sure, y'all.
And we can always hit it again.
Absolutely. So just follow us on @SpeakTheProof. That's DAPROOF on all social media. Check us on TikTok. We're gonna be dropping some extra shit on TikTok. This is O'Neal.
I am Brooklyn.
Speak the Proof. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.